guys, I am here with this. This is the Toyota RAV4 TRD. Let's get into it. But before we do, please go ahead and push that subscribe button. Thanks. Toyota has had a lot of success with the RAV4, obviously. It's been around forever. It's sold millions and millions of units, blah, blah, blah. And they have lots of different versions. The TRD is the latest version for them, and it's sort of a strange thing, right? Like when we think TRD, we think Tundra, we think 4Runner. We don't think this thing, the soccer mom mobile. So who's gonna drive this? Well, obviously, if you live in a place that gets a lot of weather, this would be a consideration. Also, if your family likes to camp or go to the outdoors, this is something that you might consider. All right, so what makes this RAV4 a TRD? Well, obviously there are lots of visual cues. The cladding right here in the wheel wells. We've got special TRD wheels and we've got special tires. We'll get to those in a minute. The trim I got has this contrasting roof with the lovely blue color. I don't know, that screams outdoors to me, but it certainly is different than your regular RAV4. So one of the aspects of the TRD Pro is you're going to get these special all-weather tires. These are the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. One thing to think about is if you live in a place that gets a lot of weather, I hear these are not rated for snow. You might want to look into that and buy your own aftermarket tires if you really need ones that can perform in the snow. Now, if you're going to go off-road, you have to worry about your tires. Just tires blow when you go off-road. That's just a fact. So you want to be sure you have a spare tire, and this one does. Hooray! But it's not a full-size spare. It's just one of those nasty spare tires, so keep that in mind. So another thing that makes it a TRD is the undercladding, which is really nice to have if you're going over some rocky terrain, because God knows you don't want to puncture anything underneath. Under the hood, we've got a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine that's producing about 203 horsepower and 183 foot-pound of torque. That sounds fine and everything, but one thing that really irritated me about this car was the engine. It made really sad noises. It sounded like I was running the washing machine. It just sounded like it was straining the whole time, and I never really could have fun in this car because it sounded like the engine just didn't want to be driving at all. Now, I will say that's not true in all RAV4s. The RAV4 Hybrid is a beautiful engine, and I love it. So the RAV4 TRD, as it's shown like this, is around $40,000. It does come with all-wheel drive, obviously, and the active torque vectoring system for off-roading, which actually, is wonderful. But the problem is with this off-road package, you're getting this really soft suspension, which is nice when you're going off-road, but when you're on-road, which you're going to be doing most of the time, it really does not drive as well as the regular RAV4, especially in the cornering. It's just way too soft, it gives way too much, and you don't have a lot of confidence while you're driving. And that isn't my normal experience with the RAV4. Okay, and then in the back seat, you've got kind of bucket seats, I guess. They're fairly comfortable. I'm 5'6", so this is the amount of headroom that I've got. There is a armrest that has cup holders in it. You've also got USB chargers down here, 2 of them, and then cup holders in the doors. And there's also a nice, pretty booming sound system. Also worth noting, these back seats do have an adjustable reclining position. They're not incredibly intuitive, like you have to go here and then push them back. There they are up, there they are back. That's kind of nice, I guess. They're easy to fold flat though, if you check this out. I got a lot of IKEA products in here the other night. It was very exciting, but it should be noted that this is not completely flat. So if you're thinking you're going to camp out and sleep in the back here, you won't necessarily be completely flat. So keep that in mind. Okay, so in the interior, it all feels really rugged and durable. I even dig the red trim in here. I think that's great. It's got a wireless phone charger, also USB. That's all well and good. This is the point where I usually like to complain about the infotainment system in Toyota. But to be honest with you, this one's just kind of fine because everything's on the steering wheel. It's got a lot of really big buttons to use. Those are fantastic, and big intuitive buttons on the climate control, which is really great. In this cold weather package, we've got the seat warmers and the seat coolers, which is really nice. And because these Softex seats give so much and breathe so much, you can really feel them heat up and cool down quickly, which is really great. Other things to note: to go in and out of different drive modes, it's really simple in here. Obviously there's eco, there's normal, and there's sport, which is cool because it changes the digital dashboard. Lots of car companies are doing this these days, like eco will turn green and sometimes normal's blue. You know, that's kind of cool. And then you just push it here if you've gone from rock and mud and sand to just get out of it and go to normal, which is great. This big button is your hill descent, very easy to use. And you can also pop this baby into sport mode and use it in sort of a manual stick shift, which I did, which, you know, wasn't really that exhilarating because this thing's so underpowered, but whatevs. You'll also notice on the screen display, you see my fingerprints. I left them there for you guys, just to remind you that, you know, when you get these cars with the big touch screens, you're also going to get lots of fingerprints, because if your fingers aren't dirty, your kids are. So remember that. If you're someone who likes to clean, good for you. I am not one of those people. I've been averaging about 27 miles to the gallon in this car, which is great for a regular non-hybrid engine. I'm Motorhead Mama. Thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead and push that subscribe button. Thanks.